Welcome to our manga. I am Agent Manga and Record of Ragnarok. This came out like yesterday to when I'm recording this, and this will probably be coming out later today, maybe tomorrow. And I enjoyed the chapter. Really good. It's not much. We mainly get Buddha's backstory and an explanation on Buddha's weapon, which I like the explanation of Buddha's weapon and also Zorofuku because they're kind of both battling with emotions, physical embodiments of emotion, which I really like. Like, one uses positive emotions, the other one uses negative emotions, and they're kind of like two sides of the same coin that I like. But I do have to say, I prefer Zorofuku's weapons. They were like, in this chapter I'm going to show you right now. Doesn't that look cool? It's a blade made of blades. That is cool. But like, I like the explanation of Buddha's stuff. Like, the reason I know all the paths is with, you know, the 6 paths of pain in Naruto. It's basically all of those, like the human path. I can't remember them all, but the human path. I'll get it out right now. Like the human path, the Ashura path, which I love the Ashuras in many different. All series, the pious, the infinite realm, the animal realm, the human realm, the divine realm, and I can't remember one that I'm just going to call the Peter realm because I can't say the name. I don't know if I can't read it properly. And I love all the realms. Like I love the explanation on how Buddha has to feel a certain emotion to get a weapon or say a shield or a staff, which I really like. And I love how, like, Zorofuku, like, I love this match because it's going to be, like, a whole bunch of different weapons used. Like, Zorofuku basically made a bladed weapon out of blades, and I just love it. Like, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, it's a blade made of, it's just a regular sword. Then I looked at it, oh, it's made of spikes. Then I realized it's made of other blades. I love it. Like, this is really cool if you can like make things really. This is probably going to be the most interesting fight. And this is actually something I've learned. I already knew about Buddha, like his backstory. I was wondering, I already knew like Buddha's backstory because a little history on me. I went to a Catholic school as like for my entire life, and I had to take religious classes. And in one of the classes, I learned about other religions, like. It was a Catholic school, so primary Christianity. We learnt about Buddhism, and I learnt about the past of Buddha, like how we came around. Like this is very similar to how the story of the Buddha. Like it's not exactly the same. In this one, like I'll tell you the original story that I know. I'm not a big Buddhism person because I like the concepts of Buddhism. It doesn't have very good mythology, unless you count Journey to the West, which I love. Cool. It also span off Dragon Ball and hundreds of other series that were spanned off from Dragon Ball. So Journey to the West, one of my favorite. Buddha is one of my favorite characters in the series, and I do love Buddha. Like they got the same thing in this story, that Buddha was a prince in both, in like regular Buddhism and this Buddhism. It's just like the story is basically he realizes that he doesn't need all the stuff of his royalty or his everything that he just has, like all material possessions. That's not needed to him. He just, in the story, he runs away from home and just sits under a tree for I think a year or more, and just realized gained basically enlightenment, understood everything, understood the universe. Oh, and I should mention that Buddha in this is considered a young god, but this was probably like, I think it said that Buddhism is at least 5,000 years old, I think. So this would mean that a 5,000-year-old god, like Buddha, is still an adolescent god. I wonder what they would consider Hercules, like he'd be a very adolescent god. Like Hercules and Buddha are around the same age, and are they both considered adolescents? Like they brought in this adolescent thing. Like, does that take time for a god to mature? So like Ganesha, or like Hermes and Aries, are they both considered adolescents? Like, I'm wondering what this, like, Buddha's considered the strongest adolescent. Like, I would love to like see a small group of characters that we might consider adolescents. Like, we got Buddha. I think Zero is among them. I hope he's not, because he seems way older. And like all these other gods, like I think Hercules is definitely an adolescent. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what an adolescent god means, because it was just introduced. I think they're gonna explain it more throughout the series. But I do think that an adolescent god is pretty cool. And in this story of the tale of the Buddha, is that Buddha has like his brother. I got confused by something that said like it's like he's distantly, he's like a cousin. I thought for a few words I thought he said, and oh, he's his cousin, but I was confused. But he said brother a lot. You guys, if you can mention it down below, if he's like his cousin or his brother, because that part's confusing me. I really enjoyed it. Like, his brother died, or cousin died from sickness, and a little after, his cousin said, I basically had no choice in my life. Everything was given to me. I tried my best to help people. I just didn't know. I just wonder about stuff. I've literally not seen much of my own kingdom. Like, one of his wishes is just to see the end of a river that passes through his kingdom, which I find awesome. And just shows how sheltered it is. Like, I can imagine just looking out and only seeing the same picture. Try your best, but you just want to see the rest. And I love it, because it's the same feelings Buddha has, and when he dies on the way there, he just kind of thinks about it after his friends say, oh, he must have been happy. Like, I just love this story. I love Buddha. Zero Fuku is still one of my top favorites. This is one of my most interesting fights. This has already gotten up to pretty high in my favorite fights, just because of like Raiden versus Shiva. I have to say that was like low, like around Thor versus Blue Boo, which I still say Thor is one of the most powerful gods and is like up there, like against Zeus, and is definitely above Odin, I'd have to say, because in mythology and in the, like, if they didn't say it in the series, like, I'm fine with, in Marvel, like, they mentioned, oh, Odin's the most powerful god. Yeah, I'm fine with that, but they've literally said he's the strongest Norse god. The only reason I could accept Odin being more powerful is if he uses the theory of turning Gruul into like his into a legendary spear in mythology, and him using that to like maybe like Thor is weakened from the fight with Blue Boo, I still think. And getting on tangents. Let's see. What else should I mention? Raiden versus Shiva, one of the lower fights in the series. My favorite fight is Jack versus Hercules, and Adam versus Zeus is very close behind that. I just prefer Jack versus Hercules, and Jack and Hercules are my two favorite characters in the series. And Adam versus Zeus, two of my favorite characters as well. Poseidon, my least favorite character. Sasaki, a pretty good character. This fight seems to be really ramping up because it's got like all this different potential. I'm not saying it's like one of my top fights. It's like already in the middle. Like, they're both good people, like these fighters, but one just went about it a way that just crushed him basically, and one went around the way that made him incredibly happy. And I just love the imagery in this chapter. I love the imagery in this fight so far. Like, Zero has all this darkness, like flesh, metal. Well, it's cold steel. Like, Buddha has gold and lotuses and this calmness. Like, I love it. Like, one is somebody trying to do a good thing but gets crushed by it. The other one tries to do a good thing and is praised for it. I think the best way to describe Zero is why he's one of my preferred gods is because a video from Griever mentions that Zero is Jesus Christ if nobody followed him as a religion. That's a pretty good analogy. Is like he did a lot of good things, like he healed the sick, helped people, and he got nothing out of it. Nobody recognized him, none of that. Well, and that's it. Oh, this is the end of the video. I'm done talking about the chapter. I really enjoyed it. I should mention that Buddha made a mace, and I love the emotions, how he can't control his weapon. Like, he could just get that shield back and be like, I guess I have to hit him with the shield. Or, it's not explained what emotions are that he has to get for each shield, each weapon, but I hope it's explained. And it's now that both the backstories are out, I hope we can get, like, a more fleshed out fight. Like, I hope it's not a really short one. I hope it's like a really long one, like Jack versus Hercules, or well, at least Adam versus Zeus or Lubu versus Thor, around that length. But I really enjoy this fight so far, and I thought both shape-shifting weapons. Like I don't think Zero just commands whatever weapon he makes, and Buddha can't create any weapon. He has to feel that emotion, so I just love it. I love the emotions. And getting to my channel, I'm going to be uploading at least once every 2 days from now on. I just feel like I should be uploading more often, and if there are no chapter reviews, I'm either going to make a theory video or a what if. I'm going to practice on the what ifs. I'm going to think of one up, but I really enjoyed the chapter. This was pretty good. Flashback ones are okay to me. I don't like them as much as the fights, but some can be really good. Some can be mid. But I really do enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoyed the chapter as well. And Sway Manga, Asian Manga, signing out.